All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha, Kodash. I want to give double honors to head apostle Netta, a great millstone who rule well, teach well, peace and blessing to you, sincere Akim that are pushing this truth all over the four corners of the earth, week in and week out, in all truth and sincerity. I wanted to touch on this particular article concerning Shaquille O'Neal, or otherwise known as Shaq. Um, a famous, quote unquote, famous basketball player that played for, the Los Angeles Lakers as well as various other teams as well, but most memorable from the Los Angeles Lakers. And as you see on your screen, this is an article from today.com. It says Shaquille O'Neal's ex wife wrote she never really loved him, how he responded. Okay, so let's go down a little bit into this article, and I'll leave the link in the description box as well. It says Shaquille O'Neal appeared to respond to his ex-wife. I'll leave the names out of it. It says in it she wrote that she may never have really loved him. Henderson opened up about her marriage to the former Los Angeles Laker, which was plagued by infidelity, in her new memoir, Undefeated: Changing the Rules and Winning on My Own Terms. So basically, she says she wrote, I should say, that she may never have really loved him. And that makes sense because, these women really they're just looking for a come up, and that stepping stone or that plateau that they can elevate off of, are these men, mainly these men that are celebrities, these men that have, high income, that are in the 100, 200, 300, Slocky, 300 million to $500 million range. They're looking at you as a come up. All right. They're looking at you as a check. Okay. And a lot of these men fall for these women, thinking that these women are really in love with them, but they're not. These women are just looking at you as a come up. You know, Matter of fact, let's go over, look, Shaquille O'Neal's net worth, quote unquote, supposedly, because we know these celebrities really aren't worth, what these forums say they're worth, or on paper. But nevertheless, he's worth 500 million. Okay. And this is what these women look at, and these women believe what they see from Forbes, etc. Your net worth and your assets, and also the fame that you have. It makes these women look good amongst their peers, their friends, their family. All right. And also people that they don't even know, from the outside looking in, that they're somebody. Okay, because they're with somebody. All right. So it says she wrote that she may never have really loved him. Skip a couple paragraphs. It says, quote, looking back, I don't know that I was ever really in love with the man. So she's basically saying she was never really in love with Shaquille O'Neal. Okay. So you got to ask yourself, if she was never really in love with never really in love with him, why was she with him? Slovakia. So if she was never really in love with him, why was she with him? Or why was she portraying to be in love with him? Okay. Marriage, kids, holding hands, walking around, smiling for photos, this, that, and so forth. Damn well she didn't told him to his face that she loved him, she would never leave him, so on and so forth. Okay. It says, but I was in love with the idea of being married to the man I had a family with. Okay. And basically she wrote this in her I guess she published a book. All right. And aside from, money, fame, and uh uh you know uh being with somebody who's somebody, so to speak, these women also, are attached, and I don't want to say attached, but they like that tag of marriage, or being married, getting a ring on their finger, especially, amongst their family. That's something that they, want to taste. Okay. And at least taste at least once. Some of these women been married 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, according to the laws of the land, because we know sex is marriage. All right. Or consummates marriage, etc. But these women are in love with the idea of walking down the aisle wearing a quote unquote, or I should say, just wearing a white dress, no quotations, and knowing damn well they ain't virgins, but they'll wear a white dress anyways to portray like they are virgins to their grandmother, their grandfather, their family members, so they can look like, that they're innocent. But these women ain't innocent, you know. These women were walking down the aisle and are straight whores, straight sluts, got 100, 200 bodies. But they ain't gonna tell their man that the man that they're taking vows, signing a contract. But you ain't supposed to get married anyways to these women. You ain't supposed to enter into a third party contract, with the woman, and you're entering a contract also with the state or the government. All right, so it's a third party contract. Okay, and the contract benefits these women. And that's another thing. These contracts that you enter into with these women, especially you being somebody, you being as in Shaq's case, he's worth 500 million. That benefits the woman, because now she gets half of your assets. She gets half of basically what you're worth. All right, and she can break it down into segments where she gets a certain amount of money, a check every month. All right, and ultimately she can take the kids from you. All right, so now she has, when you get married to these women, and concerning these contracts that you're entering into, in society today, which is basically a binding contract, it benefits the woman, and she has power over you. The scriptures say, do not give thy strength to a woman. All right, let's get that real quick. Because that's giving your strength to these women. And these women, they know what they can do with that marriage license, and these women ain't signing no prenups. Okay, go ahead and, hey, what was the basketball player that just tried to get his wife to sign a prenup, and she said she wouldn't do it. Salaki, bear with me one moment. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 31. This is Proverbs 31:3. It says, give not thy strength unto a woman, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. So you're not supposed to give your strength to a woman. You ain't supposed to put no ring on no woman's finger, enter no contract, get a marriage license. Because you give the woman the power now, man. And you heard what Shaq's ex-wife said about infidelity, because, and let's face it, man, especially at that type of status, that type of level, these women expect you to only be with them. Even at the, the being a multi-millionaire, damn near a billionaire, they expect you to just be with them, which is just madness, man. A man can have as many wives as he can afford. Okay. And you got some of these Hebrew Israelite women that, uh, call themselves being in the truth, quote unquote. And they ain't down with the full truth. And that's one thing that they definitely ain't with. you know I say them, a lot of them, you got some few sisters who are sincere, and actually have believed the scriptures in their entire in its entirety. you know but you got a lot of these women that know they're Hebrew Israelites, that watch the various camps, and even might have men in these various different camps, and they ain't down with that. They're not with their man having multiple women, or even the idea of their man being able to have multiple women. Okay, they want you to be fixated on them and only them. They want to be on that pedestal, man. Okay, and you got a lot of these other camps that support that. A camp that comes into mind is the IUIC. You basically tell the congregation that you can't have, more than one woman, or you're committing fornication, which is completely off, man. All right. And that's not fornication. Okay. And now they're coming out with this new thing that if you're under a certain age, that you shouldn't even be, seeking a wife, seeking a woman, or even messing around with a woman, which is it's just madness, man. You know. Uh, I want let's see. I'm gonna try to find that basketball player that. Uh, let's see if let me voice it in. NBA basketball players whose wife wouldn't sign a prenup, because this is this is pretty recent, and it's a well-known basketball player. Yeah, here we go. Steven Jackson. Okay, let's do this real quick. All right. All right, here we go. In a shocking revelation, former NBA player Steven Jackson claims that he left his. Slovakia. It says NBA player Steven Jackson claims that he left his fiance Imani. We'll leave the names out of it once again. It says at the altar. He left her at the altar. Okay, so this is when they was about to exchange vows. Sign that contract, put rings on each other's fingers. Had the family on one side, the other family on the other side. People that came from all over the United States, maybe even the world. Okay, he didn't spend this amount of money. Probably spent a nice check. You know, reserving this, reserving that, setting up the honeymoon, getting the outfits, the attire, and it says at the altar because she refused to sign a prenuptial agreement. So she said she's not signing the agreement. Why did she say that? Because the power, she wouldn't have that power. All right. She wouldn't be able to leave him and leave with something. Okay. The only thing that she would be able to leave with, if they had kids, according to the state, she would be able to, more than likely, be able to have the kids. Okay. But so she wouldn't leave with no type of money. She wouldn't leave with half of his net worth or more. Okay. And that net worth, the courts a lot of times go off of what you're worth on paper, even though you might not have that amount of money in the bank. Okay, which strictens the man even more. Here it is, he's worth this on paper, or he's worth, or he has a certain amount of income coming in, but they don't count what's going out, what he has to pay, his bills, this, that, and so forth, or even what he owes to these different third parties concerning whatever business he's in, into factor. So a lot of these men that are worth a lot of money, they're really getting hit hard with these divorces, man. Okay, and these alimony as well. All right, uh it says, however, Showalter disputes this claim, stating that she did in fact sign the prenup. Okay, well, if she really didn't sign a prenup, why you got to ask yourself, why didn't he get married to her? Why did he leave her at the altar? Okay, you got various other sources going into this. Okay, it says, let's click on this. All right, it says, when Steven Jackson left his fiance after she did not want to sign the prenup, it says, I was born at night, but not last night. So she probably tried to draw it out and thought, he was just going to go through with it. Probably try to sweet talk him. Let's see. It says, fame and fortune do a lot to a fame and fortune do a lot of good to the person who worked hard for it, but they also tend to change everyone involved. Just ask Steven Jackson, who saw the love of his life unveil her true colors right before they were about to tie the knot. Man, these women only want what benefits them. Okay, they only want to use you as a stepping stone. They'll get with you, say they'll love you, they'll have sex with you, have kids with you. They might even stay with you 4, 5, 6, maybe even 10 years, man. Okay, but you best believe they got an escape plan. You best believe once you are no longer on the top, or you're coming down from the top, even though you still might be rich, they're looking for the next big thing. Okay, because Shaquille O'Neal, he's on the decline. Steven Jackson was on the decline when all these particular instances with their woman happened. These things weren't happening at the height of their career. You know, that's another thing. When you're at the height of your career, you ain't got to worry about your woman leaving you or pulling no, sneak shit on you. They're gonna do that shit. When you start to get a little up in age, when you start to hit your decline. Okay, especially when they know how the game works and they've been around these various different celebrities and superstars and athletes and actors. Okay, it says Jackson related the crazy story of when he left his fiance after she refused to sign the prenuptial agreement. Jackson is well aware of his stature in society, and that's what these women chase. They want to chase your stature in society. Okay, who you are. They could care less about what you look like. What you look like does factor in, but when you reach that type of level, you're just a target. You're just a target for these women. They don't care if you're ugly, what you look like, man. If you got a lot of money, hey man, hey, a lot of you probably remember the Flavor Flav show, man. Hey, Flavor Flav, hey, that nigga was ugly, but he had money, or at least he portrayed to have money. You saw all the women that were lining up, to get with that nigga, man. You know, they were saying all types of shit, pulling all types of words out their ass, to get with Flavor Flav, and that really showed the mindset of these women, man. Okay. It says Jackson is well aware of his stature in society. He's an NBA player who has amassed a good amount of fame and fortune. Signing a prenup wasn't a personal or an ego thing. He just wanted to protect the things he worked hard for. Okay, so there you go, man. And then that's a logical thing. Okay. It says, quote, I take care of a lot of people. I'm never letting one woman control all the hard work I've done in my life. That's right. Going into what we just read in Proverbs 31st chapter, man. You know, uh, come on, man. All these pop-ups. Salakia. Bullshit. Um, yeah, protecting what your hard work for. You worked hard for. You work all these years to get in a particular position, training, this, that, and so forth, to get on a certain level. I'm talking about, in society concerning jobs, businesses, basically the things with these people chase and deem, successful, etc. And you get to that point, you reach that goal in your life, and here it is. It can all be taken away very, very quickly just due to a woman. All right, like the scripture says, many have erred and failed because of women. Roughly paraphrasing. Let's get that scripture right real quick. And women, they chase, that power. Okay. And that's why our women, really ain't looking at us. We're invisible to them because we're not in power. All right. Now, when we get that power back, hey, you know, hey, these women are going to desire us on a very, very high level. Okay. This is First Ezra 4:26. It says, yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. And you got a lot of men that have become servants for these women, successful, mediocre, and even poor. Okay, on all levels, you have a lot of men that have, basically bowed down to these women and given their strength over to these women. All right, let's go back to this article. It says none of these was in the gym with me, so I told myself whoever I'm married to, they signing a prenup off top. It's not even a second guess. I give it to her. When I give it to her, she shouldn't be surprised by it because me and her sat down and agreed upon the prenup. Yeah, but she only said she's agreed upon the prenup because she knew that if she didn't come out, if she basically if she said she wasn't down with it, you damn near would have left her on the spot. So she went along with it for the time being, hoping that when she got down that aisle, you would change your mind or and let her slide. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It says, yeah. It says Jackson took her word. Hey, see, Jackson took her word on it, knowing damn well she was lying, you know. It says Jackson took her word and went on with the planning the wedding. The one-time NPA champion said he spent around 400,000. He spent 400 G's on the big day, man. Then 400,000 on planning, getting everything ready. The outfits, hiring people to be here, the band, the pastor, the preacher. Getting all the family members to come in, the honeymoon, the food, the before service, the after service, all that shit, man. And then that's another thing with these marriages. Esau uses that just to mark, just to make money off of it. You know, these weddings are big business. For these wedding planners and these preachers and these different resorts, everything, man. You know, it says Jackson noticed that the woman had not signed the prenup agreement yet as they were planning. He didn't make a fuss out of it, citing his love for the woman. It says, but then things quickly unraveled on the wedding day itself. Jackson noticed that the woman somehow felt off about the pastor. He didn't care about who was going to preside. All he wanted was to get married. Skip down a little bit. It says, however, his fiance's bitter feelings about the pastor was the least of his concerns that day. It was Jackson's fiance herself and a refusal to sign the prenup. So she tried to make excuses. She tried to divert. The she tried to throw in a diversion, you know. And hey, these women, man, hey, they're all about, I'm gonna say the majority. The majority of these women, they really ain't down for you, man. They really ain't with you. A lot of them really don't even like you. Okay. They're in it for the idea. They're in it for what you got. They're in it for what benefits them. Let's go back to 1 Ezra 4 and 26 says, yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for woman and become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for a woman. Okay. You got men that have been deleted over a woman, man. Okay. It says many have also perished, have erred. You got men that have gone, have erred according to the scriptures because of these women. You've got men that have fell out of the truth because of women. Okay. And you're gonna have more men that fall out of this truth because of women. Hey, when that hour of temptation comes, you're gonna have a lot of Jakes, okay, that have been out there in the highways and byways teaching. And when they present that MOTB, you're gonna have Jakes, off the strength of their women, and these women using their kids once again. They're gonna consent over to these devils, and they're gonna take that thing, man. You know, because they don't want to lose their woman, they don't want to lose their kids. Okay, the woman's gonna be whispering sweet little nothings in their ears, and basically, persuade them, okay, to take that MOTB. What happened with Adam and Eve, man? Okay, these women have high level persuasion. All right, they're very persuasive, and they have very persuasive tactics, so to speak, man. Okay, it says many also have perished and have erred and sinned for woman. Okay, so we gotta know these things, man. All right, and our eye has to be single, man. You know, and the women that we have in our lives, even though they might be with us now, they might not be with us in the future. Okay, especially when these things start to heat up, which we're already seeing it. All right. I want to close out on Genesis, the 3rd chapter, and let's go down to the 16th verse. And it says, unto the woman he said, I will great, and this is the Most High Yahweh, okay, speaking unto Eve. All right, but this is also, not just to Eve, but all the women. Okay, it says, because of what Eve did. All right, and you can start up from the beginning of the chapter, Genesis, the third chapter, which you really should start from Genesis 1 and read up to 3. But nevertheless, it says, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. Okay. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and the desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. That's right. Going through the pains of childbirth. Okay. And it says, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. See, your desire is supposed to be unto your husband, not to be a millionaire, not to be successful, okay, not to get the bag, not to get a certain job, not to get, have a certain status in society. All right, your desire is supposed to be unto your husband, and these women, their desire is not unto their husband, man. Okay, like the scripture says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, and these women love money, man. If you look at society, everything that's set up concerning, commerce and these businesses, these stores, shopping, etc. All right, all these different purchasing apps, they're all geared to these women because these women do the majority of the spending. All right, and these elites know that. Okay, that's why you see these various commercials, man. That's why you see these different Salakia. That's why you see these different things on the front of these stores, the bright lights, the enticing things to get these women, to start signing that checkbook, to come in and start swiping them cards. A woman just like to buy and just like to shop, and needlessly. They buy a lot of shit that they don't need, you know. They buy a lot of shit that they don't even really want, you know. It says, I'm gonna read that one more time and we can wrap it up. It says, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And these women got a problem with that, man. They got a problem with the man ruling over them because that's not what's pushed in the society. What's pushed in the society is that you're equal, okay? And even if I should say what they push is y'all are seeing eye to eye, or the woman is actually over the man, okay? Because all in all, really, what's really being pushed is that these women, all right, are over these men, okay? What does the scripture say? That I've created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man, roughly paraphrasing. All right, a new thing has been created. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. We can wrap it up on that. Because really these women are set up over you. Now you got Esau pushing that everybody's equal, and a man and a woman's on the same level, but really, this devil's really pushing and setting these women up over, you men. Okay, bear with me one moment. All right, let's go to Jeremiah chapter 31. Because what's pushing society is you're supposed to put that woman first, right? You're supposed to bow down on one knee. You're supposed to give her a ring. You're supposed to set her up, take care of her, do this and that. Now you're supposed to take care of your woman. Don't get me wrong, and provide for her, but they're basically society's basically pushing it that you're supposed to lift these women up and put them on a pedestal, basically bow down to them as a god, you know, make them an idol, and that's completely going off, man. All right, that's against the order. You woman, and you are under the man. All right, and you are a servant to your man. All right, that's basically what a woman means, man. It's a female servant. Okay, so you're supposed to serve your man and listen to and obey your man. As simple as that, man. But a lot of these women, they're gonna have to learn the hard way. Okay, because you got these women saying they can do bad by themselves. They don't need no man. This, that, and the only reason they can say that is off the strength of Salakia. The only reason they can say that is off the strength of what men have established for them. Okay, and the platform that they have set for these women, and allowing these women to say these particular things. That's the only way you're able to say these things, man. I can do bad by myself. I don't need no man's, because these wicked elites have set it up for you to say these different things. They've set up different benefit programs, established different things for you to become successful, for you to thrive, so you can say these particular things out of your mouth. Okay. It says Jeremiah 31 and 22. It says, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. And that has happened. All right. That has happened right before our very eyes, man. All right. These women have been set up over a man, you know, and they are in a position, you know, to make decisions. They're in a position to, like you see, like we went into concerning Shaquille O'Neal's wife and Steven Jackson's wife, man. Just an example. All right. You know, you would think a woman that basically went from a mediocre job to getting with a multi-millionaire who's highly successful, you know, you would think like, oh yeah, she's never gonna leave him, right? Wrong, wrong, you know. And this also goes into the curses as well. All right, you know, but you know, for time's sake, we'll you know, we'll end it right there. You know, Lord willing, this was edifying. To the next time, shalom.